Good morning, class 6. We are going to start our chemistry lesson number 6, that is air. It is a very interesting chapter as we have heard that air is very important for all of us. It may be plant or animal or a human being. So air plays an important role in various activities, and nature has given us this resource in abundance, and the earth is surrounded by a blanket of air, and that blanket is called atmosphere, and it is several kilometers thick. Now how can we say that air is present around us? As we know that air is invisible, we cannot see it, but we can feel it. Now let us perform several activities to prove that an empty vessel or empty room or empty glass, we cannot say it empty because it contains air in it. Now let us prove it. How we can say that empty vessel has air in it. Now you can see here we can see water is present. So this container is not empty but filled with water. Now you can see this jar, this is totally empty. We cannot see it any water or anything in it, but we cannot say it empty because this jar contains air in it. Now here this is also an jar, so this is also filled with air. Now if I am saying this jar is empty, so or filled with air, so how can I prove that this jar is filled with air? Let us prove it. So now I am going to dip this in water. Now you just observe this. I am trying to put it in water. Now you can see this. I am putting it. Now this jar was filled with air. Now as I tilt it, you will see air bubbles in it. Can you see air bubble? What does these air bubbles prove? Now you can see in your book also figure number 6.1, the same activity is given which proves that an empty glass or empty vessel cannot be said as an empty because it is filled with air, and as the air is coming out in the form of bubbles, water starts getting in. So no water could enter the tumbler when the tumbler was an inverted position, and as the tumbler was started tilting, so what we have observed, the bubbles, air is coming out in the form of bubbles and water is getting inside. Now one more activity I am going to show you. You can see an empty jar is there. Now this empty jar, what we have studied, actually it is filled with air. Now this air will be removed by water. How we can say that? Now you just observe. Now I am going to fill water in it. Now you can see water is in filled. So now you can see that jar is getting filled with water. Now what we can say, that water has occupied the space which was earlier occupied by air. The same activity is explained in the figure 6.2. Water is poured in the tumbler which is displaced air. So what we can say, air, the displaced substances goes upward. What means that air is coming upward and water is getting down. So such displacement is known as upward displacement. So why water is getting down and air is coming upward? Because air is heavier, water is heavier than air. That's why air is going down and air is coming. I beg your pardon. Air is lighter in weight, so it goes upward, and water is heavier in weight, so it is going downward. Now question arises, can air also displace water? Yes. How we can prove this? So to prove air can also displace water, we need certain apparatus, like you can see in the figure 6.3. You can see the arrangement. One big tumbler is there, and in that water is taken, and at the bottom you can see displacement is there, a wooden display. The arrangement is done such that an inverted bottle is kept in the water, and that is connected with a straw, or you can say that a tube is taken. With that tube or a straw, we can blow air in it. So actually the bottle is kept in water, and that bottle was containing water in it. As it was kept in water, so there was no air in it. Now what has happened, actually, when we are blowing air into it, the air is lighter in weight, so it starts moving upward through the water. As the neck of the bottle is placed inside the bottle, that means air was not there in it, but as we blow air in it, so air passes upward in the form of bubbles. So we can say that air is displacing water. Now the next activity, to prove that soil is containing air. Yes, definitely soil is also containing air in it. How we can prove that? We can take soil in a glass. After that we will add slowly water into that glass containing soil. So what we will observe, that air bubbles starts coming upward. So those air bubbles will prove that soil was containing air, and that air is occupied by water. So this is how we can say that soil is also containing air in it. So this soil activity you can do at your home. Now the next activity is, water contains dissolved air. Yes, so water is also containing dissolved air in it. That's why aquatic animals or the plants are able to live in water. Like you have seen, fishes and many other water animals are living in water, and they are consuming dissolved air which is present in water. So to prove that activity, we have the figure number 6.5. This activity, this you have already seen in your kitchens, as your mothers are preparing like tea or whatever they are preparing. So you may have seen that air bubbles are coming out from the cooked food, the food which is being cooked on the gas. So these type of things you have observed in your kitchen, like while preparing tea, the bubbles are coming out, or when we are keeping water for boiling, so in that also we have seen the bubbles which are coming out. So those bubbles are the proof that air is present in it. Let us quickly recap what we have studied. So what is an atmosphere? The earth is surrounded by a blanket of air is called atmosphere, and this atmosphere is several kilometers thick. Then we have studied for displacement of air by water and vice versa. So here vice versa means opposite of that. So here displacement of air we have seen, like if we are pouring water in a glass, so that is displaces air. Air, the displaced substance, goes upwards. Such displacement is known as upward displacement. Then we have studied that air is also displaces water. So when air is displacing water, that is known as downward displacement of water. Then we have studied for soil contains air. So in soil, when we are adding water, we can see that bubbles are formed. So why this happens? So soil is made up of small particles between which there are pores. Those are called pores, that means spaces. In other words, soil is porous. These pores are filled with air, and so soil contains air, and when water enters these pores, it displaces air. That is why the bubbles are coming out from it. And this can also be explained that when it rains heavily, earthworms and snakes come out of the soil in search of air, because water displaces air in the soil. And then we have studied for that soil had not, if the soil is not containing air, then what will happen? If air is not present in the soil, then the organisms which are living in the soil, like earthworm, so they will not be able to survive. And in absence of air in the soil, plant would not grow, as roots would not get oxygen, and the absence of that, plant would bring life to the earth. That will also come to an end. So with this